Alright guys, I want to talk to you about my pick for the best Hollywood produced mainstream movie I've seen of the year so far. It's called Sausage Party. It's a movie really kind of came out of nowhere, and as I'm watching this movie I'm like, they just don't make them like this anymore. It feels like a movie from like 15 years ago, or like a really really high concept movie from like 1975 that studios today just don't go for. And like I said, I mean, there's probably better movies out there, so I haven't gotten around to seeing them. But just considering where we are in contemporary culture and the type of humor in this film is quickly becoming not just passé, but really kind of just going away altogether. I think it's one of the movies where you just got to cherish it for what it is and just kind of go in there and enjoy it while it lasts, because it really is a great movie. So yeah, the plot line, it's kind of weird. I guess the best way to describe it is way back in the day, like around 2006, there was going to be a CGI movie called not Fast Food, that's with Jim Varney and the chick from Sleepaway Camp, different genre. There was a movie that was going to be called Food Fight. And it had Charlie Sheen and Hilary Duff and Wayne Brady and a whole bunch of other people in it. And it was going to be like a mainstream like summer release. And the plot line was there was like this evil guy voiced by Christopher Lloyd who was going into grocery stores and poisoning all the food. And the original concept was they're going to have like actual like brand mascots like the Pillsbury Doughboy and all the other guys, Count Chocula, all of them hanging out together. And it's going to be like a weird like crossover like mega corporate movie. But it really didn't come to pass. I mean, I think like the actual like film itself, like the code was stolen at some point, and it ended up being shelved I think for like 6 years, and it finally came out like 2012 on DVD with like really terrible like beta animation in like Norway. Well, anyway, I tell you all that because more or less that's the general plot line for Sausage Party. I mean, it's the same idea, albeit that was a kid's movie and this was clearly targeted towards adults. But it's kind of the same thematic. You got a bunch of CGI foodstuffs all hanging out in a grocery store, and in this one, they're all happy to be there, but they really want to go home. They think if they're picked up by a visitor to the store, a shopper, a consumer, that's kind of like their equivalent of going to the great beyond. That's their heaven, that's their Valhalla, that's, their eternal happy ever after. So, you got your foodstuffs, and it's an all-star cast. You got Seth Rogen plays a hot dog. You got, what's his name? Michael Cera plays a smaller hot dog. You've got, who else you got in this movie? You got Edward Norton playing a bagel, and he's really good, believe it or not. And they're all hanging out, and they love being in a grocery store, and they're happy because it's 4th of July, or as they call it, Red, White, and Blue Day. So they're all thinking they're going to be picked up to go to food heaven, or wherever they think they're going to go. And that's when they slowly but surely realize that not all is what it appears to be. That indeed, when they get picked up, they don't actually go to food heaven. They get eaten. They get digested, they get killed, they get chopped up, they get boiled. They find out the harsh truth. So right off the bat, you can kind of tell this movie's like your standard like postmodern like neo-atheist propaganda, because the entire premise of the movie is, don't wrap yourself up in religion and false hope. Just do a lot of drugs and go to orgies. I mean, that's literally kind of the overlying moral of the movie. Just enjoy what's around you. More on that in just a bit. But hold on, just you wait. Don't think this is some like hoity-toity like liberal Captain Planet propaganda. Don't think it's like Zootopia. It's not. It's actually, I can see this movie really rankling some of the hardcore liberal folks out there. Because it's a film that absolutely draws like 90% of its humor from like really crude ethnic stereotypes about food. I mean, you've got like Native Americans portraying like bottles of whiskey. You've got a box of instant grits with like a really stereotypical blaxploitation voice. You got neo-Nazi mustard trying to round up all the orange juice and apple juice and execute them. So you got lesbian tacos, that's in there. What else? I mean, just run the gamut. Everything you can think of is included in the film. And you can just kind of tell that, you know, the way society's going, like how politically correct we are, that we're probably about, you know, 4 or 5 years away from Seth Rogen, everybody involved in the movie disowning it, saying, you know, that it was a different time, they needed the money. So it really does feel like kind of the last of its kind. I don't think we're probably ever going to see another mainstream Hollywood movie kind of incorporate the sort of, you know, cutting edge, against the grain, anti-PC humor that we're seeing in this movie. So go see it while you can. You're probably never going to get an opportunity to see something like this in a mainstream theater ever again, which is reason enough to go check it out. But moving beyond that, I mean, it's just actually a really, really good, sound, funny movie. I mean, there's all such stuff in here that really made me crack up. I think probably the part about the non-perishables being the elder gods was really the funniest thing for me. So, I mean, it's kind of a combination of the humor you'd see in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but really, really augmented with really bawdy humor, the stuff you get from your standard Seth Rogen production. And I think it's the best movie he's ever made. I mean, I haven't really seen a whole lot of his films, but this is definitely better than, like, Neighbors, without question. So it's an entertaining movie. I mean, lots of socio-political commentary. You've got a bagel and a falafel running around talking about, you know, sharing the same aisle. Obviously, that's not a metaphor for anything. It's just a great movie. I mean, it's really, really funny. There's lots of great puns. I just really, really thought it was an entertaining little movie. And if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's worth going out of your way to see. Lots of great plot twists. They find a cookbook at one point, which is really a great revelation. That's when they know everything is for naught. So, I mean, there's a lot of subtext there. I mean, you know, you got stuff about gay rights, you got stuff about atheism, you got stuff about drug use, being pro that, pro legalization. I mean, it's a very front-loaded movie. There's something in there for pretty much everybody. So, go out and check it out. I mean, how can you really hate any movie that ends with sentient foodstuffs basically poisoning an entire grocery store of customers with bath salts, and then engaging in like the craziest like inner like species orgy in film history? This is the kind of movie where Trey Parker and Matt Stone wish they can make a movie like this. Just completely out there. It's going to offend everybody. You're going to laugh. You're going to love it. It's a film that, like I said before, it's my pick for best movie of the year so far. Released by a Hollywood studio. Sausage Party, believe the hype. It's worth it. Go see it. Be offended. Embrace the First Amendment. And enjoy it. It's a good one.